Hi, this is Stu from the Staccato School of Defence, and today we're talking about Dussack trainers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all three of the wooden Dussack trainers that we use at Staccato Baulkham Hills, starting with the one we started with, the Spares wooden Dussack. The Spares wooden Dussack is made of plywood. It does the job. They say themselves though they're not really made for contact. And I have a split one at home that is testament to that fact. So this will do the job, particularly for beginners and particularly for slow drills. But if you want to do any serious contact, which given the way that Dussack is used to cut away incoming attacks, you really need something heavier. One of my students started cutting these out. So this is American maple, and these are relatively indestructible. This one has been sanded back maybe twice, and you can see there's a bit of edge damage there, but in actual fact it's in pretty good nick. Obviously these aren't the most expensive training tools in the world, and that they'll cut away just fine and you can bash them together, that's no problem. The problem is with these that they hit really quite hard and they don't have any flex to them in the thrust at all, which is, as we all know, the perennial problem with any kind of waster. And so Mark Holgate from South Australia has come up with, well, he didn't come up with it, this is pretty much historical design, an alternative. This is the leather covered Dussack. So this Dussack is a short Dussack-like piece of wood with the usual round handle, and this is a simple leather tube. It's got a thong here to tie it onto the hilt. Otherwise you can have amusing episodes where it'll go flying off the end. Not that that's ever happened. And it's basically just stitched all the way around and sandwiched together at the front. What's ingenious about this design is that you can see there that there's actually a fair bit of space for this to move around. One of the other reasons why we need to tie it on. All right, there's plenty of space for this thing to move around. And what that does is it provides a cushioning effect. So if I pick this up now and give myself, I'm not wearing a van brace. Like, I wouldn't want to do that for another 5 seconds, but the fact that I can do it 3 times at reasonable power means that these are actually reducing a lot of the impact. The other brilliant thing about these is that, well, the main thing is that they bind. So if I grab this one here, this is Chris. He made the other wooden Dussacks. Okay, so if we both pop up here in the watch and I make a cut from above and he does too, we don't get a bounce, we don't get a slide, we get a bind. And that's the real genius of these. These things bind. Even when we both really try and slice, they still bind. And that is absolutely fantastic, because one of the real complaints about a lot of trainers, and particularly the ones I haven't gone for in the form of the plastic trainers, is that they slip and slide all over the place. Anybody who's used a Rawlings longsword or anything like that, they're great, they're cheap, they're flexible, they're safe, but they don't bind at all. I thoroughly recommend these things. From memory, they're just over the $100 mark. Mark makes them himself as far as I'm aware, but if you want his details, then please contact us through the Staccato channel. Thanks.